Warning. Our host is technically a fun dad, but does not guarantee coolness by any known teen standard.
Hey, welcome back to Dad Space. It's the podcast for dads by dads. So if you're a dad, you're in the right spot. If you ever have met a dad, you're in the right spot. If you've ever had a dad, you're also in the right spot. If you're thinking about becoming a dad, well, you're also in the right spot. There's a lot of spots here, a lot of spaces to fill on Dad Space, and the fact that you're here means that we're one space closer to world domination. So thanks for taking up your space here on Dad Space. I'm glad you're here. If somebody sent this to you, they are your best friend. They know you very well because they're like, you should listen to Dad Space. So you should go give them a gift. I don't know, something that they would love. I don't know. What do they like? I don't know. They sent you to Dad Space, so you're here, and I'm happy, and you're my gift, and I'm just thrilled. It's great to have you here. We're going to be talking about loneliness for dads when your family, your friends, even your spouse just doesn't seem to be enough in the moment. There's an epidemic of loneliness in this overly connected world where we have access to everyone through our phone, and at the same time, we feel so disconnected in real life from the people that we care about and that we hope, care about us. So we're going to talk about loneliness here on Dad Space. If this is something you've been dealing with, or you know somebody that you suspect is dealing with this, then please share this with them. We need to look out for each other. And it's the time in 2026 to be a little less lonely and a little bit more connected. I'm glad you're here. So here's a clip I got from, again, TikTok feeding me more dad stuff. And this is about men and loneliness. And I love this clip because it really kind of sets the stage for a conversation. And it's a good backdrop to what we're going to talk about here. So here's the clip, and then we'll get into what we're talking about today here on Dad Space. Here's the clip.
Male loneliness is one of the biggest epidemics in the world right now, and nobody's talking about it. So I want to talk to the men. You, the one holding it together when nobody asks how you're doing, the one who carries all the weight, stays silent, and still shows up every single day. You wake up tired, but you move anyway. You don't complain. You don't quit. You just keep stacking it brick by brick, hoping somebody notices the wall that you have built. But they don't, because the world raises the bar on men and lowers the gratitude. You get told to be strong, but never told it's okay to be human. You give everything and still feels like you're not enough. Listen to me. You are not weak for needing support. You are not broken for feeling empty. You're a man who's been carrying too much for too long. Simple. If you're watching this and you feel alone, please hear me. You matter. Your work matters, your presence matters, and it's needed. Send the message, make the call, ask for help, do anything you can, because real strength isn't silence. It's just being honest with yourself. Real toughness isn't failing. It's standing back up. So to every man out there holding it down quietly, I see you, I respect you, and I'm proud of you. Now go and tell another man that he matters too. That's how we fix this.
That's how we fix this. Yes. I totally agree with this. I love the sentiment behind it. I love the thought. And yeah, it's a great message. And I think more and more guys need to hear this. And that's why I'm glad you're here. And again, if somebody sent this to you, then, I'm super happy you're here. We want to look at fatherhood from this perspective that it's full of responsibility. It's full of love. It's full of connection. Yet sometimes dads find themselves feeling a little isolated, maybe a lot isolated. And this episode, I think, will help to break some of the silence around dad loneliness, showing that it's not about lacking people in your life, but about unmet emotional needs, disconnection, and the pressure to be strong when we're really not that strong. The goal of all this is not pity, but it's permission for you as a dad. Permission for you to be honest with yourself, to seek community, to get help, and also rebuild deeper connections that go beyond surface roles and beyond just the niceties of life, but getting back in connection with the people that you need day to day. So we're going to cover a bunch of stuff here together. I'm glad you're here. Let's get into what we're talking about. So 5 main things I want to chat about today here on the podcast. Again, I'm glad you're here. For all you lonely dads, let's look at this. The hidden weight of being the Rock, not the actor / wrestler, but being the Rock in your family. That it's a hidden weight, and it's interesting. It's a good parallel between being a rock and being heavy and being the weight. We as dads are often taught that we are to be the stable providers in our home. We are to be emotionally steady, resilient, and selfless. But what if that's not the case? That expectation, it's noble, but it becomes kind of isolating when it leaves no space for us to be vulnerable and to say, listen, in this moment, in this situation, I don't have the tools. I don't feel prepared. I feel overwhelmed. I feel inadequate right here. And that's hard for a lot of guys to get to that point. Many dads suppress feelings of burnout, feelings of stress, being sad, because they believe their family's peace depends on them just staying strong. So there's this silent pressure for us of saying, I can't let anyone see me struggle. And as I think back in my dad journey, yeah, I was not that type of guy that would openly confess to, put on display feelings of inadequacy or feelings like I don't have it. I'd want to be that strong person. Even though at times I'm falling apart behind the scenes, I don't ever want to let them see me sweat. That's a commercial from a long time ago about deodorant. But I never wanted people to see me struggle under the weight of being this rock for my home. And at the same time, I didn't have a rock. A, because I wasn't asking for it, and B, because I wasn't in the right place to be receptive to someone else being the rock. I thought I had to do it. Again, we talk about this often on the show. We'll mention the fact that we're that type of person, sometimes as men, that want to carry in all of the groceries, all the packages from the car in one trip. I'm not doing 2 trips. I'll shut the trunk with my head. I'll carry everything in one shot because I can, because I have to. We're the rock, right? There's some isolation that can happen over time, and it stems from protecting others. It doesn't come from being selfish. It comes from this idea that we're kind of like on duty all the time. It's a shift that we can never clock out of. That we're the rock. We're the one to be the support. We're the one to be the strong one. People can build on us. People can count on us. But there's times when people can't count on us. But we try to hide that. We don't want people to see us in our weakness. Strength isn't silence. Strength is honesty. Strength is coming to the realization that in this moment, I might not be enough. And I need help. You don't have to be the rock all the time. You don't have to be a character. You don't have to be an actor. You don't have to be somebody's foundation all the time. There's times when you're going to need to be supported as well. So keep that in mind. Number 2, when family love doesn't replace connection. Even a happy family can't always meet every emotional need that you have as a dad. Kids and spouses, they love us, but their relationships fill specific roles for us that don't always mirror companionship or a shared struggle. It's something we value as dads, but it doesn't hit and tick off every single box all the time. And you need to realize that, because it's a weird feeling when you feel like you're not getting what you need, but people are trying their best. They're doing the best they can with what they have. But it's still not enough. And then you start to think it's you. Deep loneliness can coexist in a visible family life. You could be surrounded by kids busyness, hockey tournaments, baseball, coaching, external events, your partner, work, podcasting, all of these things could be busy work, busy things all around you, swirling around you. But you could be deeply lonely at the same time. Unmet emotional depth isn't failure. It's a human need to have equal footing with what's going on around you. By us joining in groups, volunteering, engaging in hobbies, things that we used to love to do, or new hobbies we've never tried, this can create adult-to-adult connection outside of the home. We basically need, as dads, a play date. We need time with somebody else, get different perspective, make different connections, because they will fill the boxes that our family can't. Your kids, your partner, they're not your therapist. They're not the ones to fix you. As much as Coldplay wants to fix us, they are not the ones to fix you. You need to go outside of the home. You need a play date. You need somebody else in your life. It could be professional help. It could be somebody that just fills up spaces that no one else can fill. And that's something that we need to seek out this year for our mental health. It's okay for you to look externally for help and for support. Your family would be thrilled to see that you're out there making new friends. Just like at school, we need a play date once in a while. The third part is friendships after fatherhood. This is where I am. Why friendships fade and how to rebuild as we age, as dads. So if you're like me, your kids are out of the house. They don't need you the way they needed you when they were younger. They're on building their life, and you're rebuilding this void that you don't know what to do with. You don't know what to do with yourself. Friendships often fade as men become husbands and fathers. That's one thing that we have in common. As we go from having a strong social group to people pairing up have children. People pairing up and having children means they have less time. They start to go inward. They don't come out anymore. They're building their life. They're building their family. They have responsibilities and a lack of sleep. They're not the same. They're not as available as they were when they first started their relationships. And time, geography, work, energy, all these things chip away at our social circles. Modern men rarely have spaces for genuine connection that aren't built around competition, work, or just general chit-chat and small talk. I love the idea of a micro community, one or two friends who you can be fully you in front of without feeling judged, without feeling condemned or looked down on. I would love for you as a dad this new year to reach out to one person this week just to say, hey, we've kind of drifted a little. I just want to see how you're really doing. There's somebody that just popped into your mind right now. And if your phone is in your hand because you're listening to the show, you can, while still listening, you can go to your contacts and just scroll. There they are. That person that you're looking at on the screen, you haven't talked to that person in a long time. Their name is glaring at you from your screen on your phone. You can pause this if you want to, but you need to talk to that person. You need to make the first step. They're not coming for you. They're probably just as tied up in life as you are. You need to make the first step. Stop making excuses that nobody calls you and you've never called anyone. Look at that name on the phone. You need to call them. You need to do it now. We need to maintain these friendships. We need to rebuild our friendships. And the reality is, if we don't work on this, these friendships that we treasured from our past, they're going to fade away and people move on. That's what happens. So reach out, make that call, do it today. We also need to reconnect with our spouse without expecting them to fill every need that we have as men, as fathers, as husbands. A strong marriage is foundational, but even your spouse can't always carry the full emotional load of supporting you. Expecting your spouse to fix your loneliness creates tension and guilt for both partners. Again, your wife, your partner, is there as a support. They're not there to fix you. They may want to fix you because there's a lot of things to fix. My wife has a list, but they're not here to fix you. They're here to support you. They're here to love you. They're here to be your cheerleader, but they're not going to fix you. There's an emotional independence within a partnership. Things like, I love you, but I also need my own outlets. I need my own time. I need time for me. It's why we send our wives out to get their nails done and have a spa day or a day with the girls or something. Just get out of the house. I got the kids. But why don't we do that for ourselves? Why do we feel guilty when it's our turn to have a guy's day out? Why does it feel weird? How letting your spouse into your loneliness builds intimacy? It's done by you telling people. It's done by you creating a space where you can have those kind of conversations with your spouse about your loneliness. You tell them, I'm really lonely right now. And they need to not, to the partners listening to this, don't take offense to your husband telling you they feel lonely. It's not your fault. Remember, there's different buckets that they need filled that you can't fill. And that's not your responsibility to fill. Don't be offended by that. But help them find a way to address that. And by you helping your husband in this moment, as they wrestle with their loneliness, intimacy is built. Don't blame. We need honest conversation. To be able to say, I'm feeling disconnected right now, and it's not your fault. Speaking to your partner, your spouse, your kids, your friend. But then also adding on to this, can we talk about how we can stay close even though I'm feeling disconnected right now? That's big boy language that not a lot of us have in our toolbox. That's not something that we reach for, like our favorite tool to fix whatever we're working on in the moment. That's a tool buried in the bottom of the toolbox, or a tool we've never purchased before, is the understanding that we can tell people what we need and not feel guilty for it. The last part of this is the path out, by building connection through purpose and by being of service. One of the fastest ways that I've found to combat loneliness is to create meaning outside of yourself. Purpose builds belonging. We need to discuss how contributing to our world, how that can help. Through coaching a team, mentoring, joining a support group, a meetup, volunteering, go serve at a mission, a homeless shelter, serve food to people in need, join a food bank, be a big brother through the Big Brother organization. Do something that puts you outside of what you normally would do as your default settings. It helps you to reconnect as a father to your community and to the people around you. I also want you as dads to see your vulnerability as leadership. The courage to go first in creating real community by you initiating it speaks volumes. Don't sit in your couch with your remote in your hand and your phone in the other hand and wait for the world to come to you. It's time to put on your coat, put on your boots, grab the keys, and go out into the world. That's where you're going to find you. You're not going to find you in the couch cushions with all that other stuff. You're going to find you when you get outside and meet other people and get away from what's creating or enhancing or inflaming the loneliness that you're feeling in this moment. Loneliness doesn't mean that you're failing as a dad. I want you to understand this. You're not failing. It means that you're a human being. When we develop connection, it requires us to have intent. We have to actually create this as something that we're working for and it's important to us. It's about intention. It's not about perfection. And when you share your truth with people, when you share who you are, you reach out beyond your comfort zone and you start investing in some deeper forms of relationship. You're going to discover and rediscover that the strength that comes from belonging to something bigger than you will help you to overcome those moments when you're feeling lonely and nobody's filling up the buckets that you need filled right now. It's not your children's fault. It's not your wife's fault. It's not your friend's fault. It's not your partner's fault. There's just some things that can't be filled by those people. And there's nothing they can do to help you. And that's not a negative. That just means you need to go find the person and the resource and the thing that will fill up those spots. It's not just about being needed. It's about being known. I think the antidote for loneliness is being known. Is being known for something. In your community, in your neighborhood. In those are people who know you. At work, in your friends' circle, in your home. Loneliness is combated by being known. It's time to go out and get known again. The unknown, I would think, would wrestle with loneliness more than the known. Sure, you can be known and be lonely. Yes, I get that. But it's hard to be lonely when you're known. Think of every star that walks down a street just wanting for some anonymity and just get from this place to this place without a sea of people taking their picture and asking for something from them. People who are known are not generally the ones that fly under the radar and don't get attention. They're known. They're known for something. So if you're battling loneliness, it's time to be known for something. And it could simply be, you're the guy that helps at the food bank. You're the guy that serves soup at the kitchen on the weekends. You're the person that helps people who are in need. You're the one who gives to people who are lonely, even though you're lonely. Because you know how it feels. So if you're wrestling with loneliness right now, you're wrestling with that feeling of, there's nobody here for me. Well, you just might be in the wrong room. And again, it's not the fault of the people in the room with you. It's the fact that you need to be exposed to other people who can help you in different ways that complement the love and the care you get from your kids, the love and care you get from your wife and your spouse, your partner. There are people out there who care about you. There are people out there that have no idea who you are, who will grow to love you and care about you because you're known for what you've done. And taking something that's been a negative and turning it into a positive in 2026 is my goal for you and my challenge for you. So if you're lonely right now, if you're feeling lonely, you might need just a change of scenery. And I hope that as we kind of go through these again, that you realize that being the rock doesn't mean that you have to have all the answers. You don't have to be the one that everybody counts on all the time. Your family love doesn't replace connection. That friendships after fatherhood, even though they fade away for some of us, they're still salvageable. That you can reconnect with your spouse without expecting them to fill every need that you have. And the path out by building connection through purpose and service can help you with your loneliness. If you're feeling lonely, then it's time to make a change. It's time to stop accepting where you are. And it's time to look forward to what's next. And I hope Dad Space, again, plays a small role in that for you this year. and that you find the people in your community that can help. And if you ever just want to chat, I'm not a licensed anything, but I'm a dad, and I care about you, and I care about this audience for this show. Happy to chat virtually with a coffee over the internet, and we could talk about it, whatever you want to talk about. And if you need help finding resources, let me know. I'll do my best to help you find the right people. Always willing to help, and always grateful for you listening to this show. Thanks for being here on Dad Space. It's time to break out of that loneliness this year. You can do it. I know you can. Take care.
Male loneliness is one of the biggest epidemics in the world right now, and nobody's talking about it. So I want to talk to the men. You, the one holding it together when nobody asks how you're doing. The one who carries all the weight, stays silent, and still shows up every single day. You wake up tired, but you move anyway. You don't complain. You don't quit. You just keep stacking it brick by brick, hoping somebody notices the wall that you have built. But they don't, because the world raises the bar on men and lowers the gratitude. You get told to be strong, but never told it's okay to be human. You give everything and still feels like you're not enough. Listen to me. You are not weak for needing support. You are not broken for feeling empty. You're a man who's been carrying too much for too long. Simple. If you're watching this and you feel alone, please hear me. You matter. Your work matters, your presence matters, and it's needed. Send the message, make the call, ask for help, do anything you can, because real strength isn't silence. It's just being honest with yourself. Real toughness isn't failing. It's standing back up. So to every man out there holding it down quietly, I see you, I respect you, and I'm proud of you. Now go and tell another man that he matters too. That's how we fix this.
Hey, thanks for listening to Dad Space. Thanks for hanging out to the end of the podcast. That's a great sign to wherever you're listening to this podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, fill in the blank, that this was a good podcast to send people to. So simply by listening to this point of the podcast, you're helping the show grow. So good on you. Thanks for helping us grow Dad Space. If you want to help us fill our cups over at Dad Space, head over to dadspace.ca. Dadspace.ca, simple website, right? Dadspace.ca. You can fill up our coffee cup, which helps us then to keep moving forward with the podcast, and use our Buy Me a Coffee link over at dadspace.ca. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for coming back. And thank you for sharing, because the more people, more dads we can help, the better. We're all here to help each other grow in community. That's what it's all about. And without you, podcast is pointless. There's no reason to do any of this. So you being here means everything. See you at dadspace.ca. Take care.